Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan, and for this week's vlog I spoke to Stuart aka Lange about his classic Follow Me. Enjoy. Lange is an alias from UK-based DJ producer Stuart Lange. Stuart is one of the most influential dance artists of the past 2 decades. Besides his Lange project, he is also behind projects such as Firewall, Lange, Offbeat, Exodus, plus he was part of projects such as Surreal and Stadium 4 as well. At least 20 of his productions made it into the UK Top 40 chart. Plus he's responsible for remixes for bands and acts such as Fateless, Keo and Albert, The Thrill Seekers, Ferry Corsten, Sash, DT8 Project, The Space Brothers, Ian Van Daal, Lost Witness, Du Monde, Agnelli and Nelson, Pulp Victim, DJ Saken and Friends, The Pet Shop Boys, Rough Drivers and many others. In the year 2000 he released the track Follow Me, which he did together with the Morrigan. Because of the upcoming 20th anniversary, I thought it was a good reason to sit down with Stuart in his studio to ask him about the story behind his classic, his future plans and more. My first question to him was how he and the Morrigan got to meet each other.
I did a remix for them on Sirius Records. It was called Remember, and they were so happy with it they got in touch about doing a track. So I went down to London to meet them, and they were a lovely couple, John and Cecily. And I sent them some chords that I'd worked on, and they sung the vocal over. And I remember we recorded the choral bit in it actually in their studio as well later on. It was a very inspiring time working with those two.
So was the plan already from the start to make it a vocal track, I guess?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So where did the inspiration for Follow Me came from?
That's a tough one, really. Like I say, the vocal came completely from them. I don't write lyrics myself. So yeah, it was just playing some chords, trying to make something kind of dreamy, because that suited Cecily's vocal very well. So that's how it started.
Is there anything you can tell about the production process of the track?
It was obviously a long time ago, so I can't remember that much about specific equipment I used, but I recall using the Novation Supernova a lot, that blue rack mount, and there was a lot of to and froing going with the vocal as well, so which is quite unusual because normally I start with a vocal quite frequently and then write round it, but this time I sent some chords off and so we went from there.
So the track got signed to Positiva, one of the biggest or maybe the biggest dance label in the UK. Was it easy to get it signed by them?
It was reasonably easy, yeah. At the time I'd been doing quite a few remix projects with them, and they were saying, come on, you need to get another single. I think I'd done the Protect Your Mind remix not too long before, and so yeah, they were pressing me for original material because I was so busy doing remixing back then, and so yeah, they were really into it.
So Follow Me became a very successful track and it got some radio airplay as well. Do you remember hearing the track on the radio for the first time?
I can't remember where it was, but I've heard it quite a few times. I think it used to be on the football quite a bit as well. So yeah, it's always bizarre hearing your own stuff on the radio, especially when it's a new experience.
So how old were you back then?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Probably 25, 26, okay. Yeah.
So the CD single of Follow Me contained 6 tracks and it had over 40 minutes of music. And because it had over 40 minutes of music, there was some rule here in the UK which made it impossible to enter the charts. Can you explain how that exactly worked?
Yeah, it ended up being number 1 on the budget albums or something, the mini albums. I think they did it because EMI had such a good Positiva had such a good record of hitting the charts with their releases that they knew it wasn't going to get high enough. So I think it was a ploy to avoid being in the singles. Plus we had loads of remixes, so why not make them available?
You already said it, like, yeah, the single did reach the number 1 position on the UK budget album charts upon release. So I'm sure that kind of made it up like a bit, right?
Yeah, it did. I mean, the thing is, if you don't get, back then, and I'm sure it's the same now, if you do not get the Radio 1 A-list or B-list, you know, it's very difficult to have a chart hit. So yeah, it wasn't picked for that.
At least you had a number 1.
Well, arguably, it's my most successful track, I think. And yeah, of course, it's nice that it was #1. I didn't actually realise until a few weeks later that was the case, actually.
So, in the same year, Follow Me got featured in the movie Kevin and Perry Go Large. How did you find out the track was used in the movie?
Well, I hadn't actually finished the track when I was invited to add music into that. Judge Jules kindly picked me out as somebody, because he was the music director for that film. He picked me out as somebody to contribute, and I was working on the Follow Me single at the time, and I thought, well, this could work. So I worked quite closely with the film producers, in the sense that I did a few extra bits and pieces through the film at different sections. So it was featured about 3 times, 4 times, I think.
Cool.
So yeah, it was amazing to find out that I could do something for a film.
So did you go see the movie in the theater yourself as well?
I did, yeah. I was there at the premiere actually in London, which was an experience. So yeah, I sort of saw it very early, and I mean it's a silly film, but you know it really does bring back some amazing memories of Ibiza back then.
So did you wait until it was ended to see your name in the credits?
I think I must have done, yeah. Sure. I can't remember now, but I must have done, yeah.
So how important has Follow Me been for your career?
It's been massively important. Tracks that you have that outshine all the others can be a problem at times, I'm sure, and I've known other artists who've said the same thing. You can reach a point where you feel that people want that only from you. However, you know, it's so inspirational to see how passionate people are. And this past year or so, I've actually been doing quite a few classic events, and you know, it still gets the crowd going nuts. So yeah, it's brilliant.
I think people get angry when you don't play it.
Well, that's the thing. It's probably the most requested track as well.
So next year, Follow Me is going to be 20 years old. Are there any plans for the 20th anniversary?
There aren't any solid plans at the moment, but watch this space. I mean, it's difficult because it's owned by Universal, and so it's kind of difficult to get the majors interested in doing something with a relatively underground track, but we'll certainly do our best.
So what is your favorite memory of the release of Follow Me?
I think the involvement with the film was the most exciting part of it for me, and working with the Morrigan. We're still friends. In fact, I saw John a few weeks ago, you know, met up with him. It had been quite a while, but so it was just an all-round great experience, very positive experience.
So around that time, it seemed that every month there was at least one new Lange production or remix coming out. Just in that time, you did remixes for names such as Sash, Fateless, The Space Brothers, Lost Witness, Agnelli Nelson, The Pet Shop Boys, DJ Sakin, and some others. How long did it take you usually to work on a remix?
At that time it was relatively short actually, because I had such a deadline. You know, I was doing getting a lot programmed in. So I would say it was probably a week at the most. But obviously, you know, I used to go back to some when they needed that. But yeah, they were flying out the door, which arguably some of them were sounding a little bit similar towards the end. But you know, that's what happens when you're under pressure to do it. And I had a remix manager pressing me to get as many done as possible.
So did you turn down lots of remix requests then because you didn't have enough time?
Yes, I did. Some I regret. I remember turning down Chicane Saltwater. Now, the reason why I turned it down was because I thought it was absolutely perfect. So that's a good excuse, I think, hopefully. But also, it was a very limited period of time to do it as well, and I was like, I don't want to try and tackle this one. So I think I made the right decision still.
So was music a full-time job for you then?
Yeah, it was by then, yeah.
You were also DJing around that time, right?
Yeah, well, almost. It was 2001 I started DJing. I'd been producing professional, if you like, having releases since '98. So yeah, I thought it was time to get behind the booth as well.
So how did you manage to combine all of this?
At first, I didn't have that many gigs. There was actually quite an anti-producer being in the booth, and quite rightly so. You know, a lot of us didn't have any experience, but we were getting a lot of attention because of the music. But so I had to do a little bit of, you know, proving myself before I got anywhere near busy. So it was relatively easy at the time to keep control of everything. Yeah.
So the last couple of years you've been pretty quiet, but I've heard you're back in the studio. Can you tell us what you're working on right now?
Right now I'm working on some new material for myself. It's not an album yet, but I'm trying to take inspiration from having a break. It was very important to have a break for me. I've been doing it 25 years. I felt a little bit in a rut, so I thought, why not have a proper break, build the hunger, and I'm very, very inspired now to do some interesting stuff, perhaps with a nod to the past as well, because like I say, I've been playing a few classic sets over the last year or so, and it really has brought back the true meaning of music in the club. So yeah.
So is there something you can tell already about, like a release date of something, or?
Not yet. There's not anything definitive at the moment, but I am working on stuff. I'm also doing a little bit of techno on the side as well. It's another genre I've always been passionate about, so look out for that under a different alias.
Can you already tell that alias, or?
It will probably be my real name, to be honest. That's what I'm just thinking of, Stuart Lange. Techno names are always difficult to spell, so there we go, I've got one already.
So recently your debut artist album Better Late Than Never from 2007 got a re-release. Why did you decide to re-release it?
I was never happy with the original mastering. I didn't actually get to check the mastering last time, so I was pretty disappointed with it, but it was too late for the CD run. We did get it mastered again, and then I think the digital versions were the new master, but so I felt it needed an update, and also the license period had expired, so I'd got the rights back, so I thought, why not go and work with Black Hole on this and get it out there again.
And the last question, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Do you know what, I'm actually undecided on that. I can be persuaded to have some pineapple, but it doesn't really work, does it?
Well, thank you very much for your time, and good luck with the new productions.
Thank you so much.
Alright, that was it, this week's vlog. My interview with Stuart, aka Lange, about his classic Follow Me. Stuart, thank you very much for your time, much appreciated. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe. And I did another interview with Lange, and that one is going to be about his classic Drifting Away. I hope to have that one online very soon as well. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye!